What's up, guys? Rochasaurus here, back with another React video. Today we got some gameplay of Star Wars Outlaws. I didn't even know this was a game that was coming out. As you know, we just got, Jedi Survivor, but apparently they have a new Star Wars game in the works, and we're going to take a look at some gameplay now and react to it. Let's go. Let's go!
Star Wars Outlaws gameplay was just revealed at the Ubisoft press conference, and on first impressions it looks like they're doing some really awesome things.
Well, that's
here.
pretty cool.
So this game is developed by
some mobility going on there.
They're the people that make The Division, and it's on the Snowdrop engine, so this is like a proper next-gen looking game. And
yeah, this thing looks sick already.
Open world game set in the Star Wars galaxy, action adventure, single player only, and there's some very interesting gameplay mechanics happening. So today I'm going to give you the scoop on what exactly this game is. Ubisoft just gave us a little behind the scenes presentation, and there's a few more extra details in here, so I'm going to
So based off first looks offhand, it doesn't appear that you're a Jedi in any way, but more or less like just a bounty hunter or something, you know, an outlaw. So that's already changing things up in the Star Wars universe for us here.
share those with you too. If you enjoyed the video, guys, drop a like down below. Thank you. Help support me. Let's get into it. In terms of where this game's set in the Star Wars timeline, it's in between Empire Strikes Back and Return of the Jedi. So there's a civil war going on. There's Empire everywhere, but that allows the syndicates and the underworld to rise up and gain power. And in it, you play as K-Vess, who is an outlaw, a scoundrel, who has this little alien companion called Nix. A job goes wrong, and unexpectedly they become some of the galaxy's most wanted, and to free themselves they've got to take on risky contracts, make relationships, and prepare to pull off a massive heist, which I presume will be at the end of the game. As for the open world gameplay here, you're going to be exploring many locations across the outer rim of the galaxy with all sorts of different biomes, inhabitants, secrets to find, and quests to complete.
My question is this going to be open world?
Ships to build, and the developer said that there's going to be a huge diversity in the gameplay. And the gameplay in Outlaws is built on 3 pillars, and this is in terms of what you'll be doing. So you'll be visiting dense cities. In these cities there will be tons of activities. There'll be cantinas, there'll be criminals mingling, and opportunities for missions and stuff like that. And then there's also these vast open world areas which will allow for a greater level of immersion. And then there's space, which we'll see a bit later on in the video. So you can fly your ship around in space, you can take off from the planet and go into space, and in space it's a bit risky because there's dogfighting and people that want to kill you, but it can be lucrative and rewarding to explore. So we saw in the demo a big...
That's kind of sweet. So like you can just fly around and go planet to planet. Kind of like, I think they're trying to attempt with Starfield, but on probably a much smaller scale.
Open world area. This is called Tashar, and it's the signature open world location of the game. They dropped the quote, "It's a hive of scum and villainy," and you'll be able to mount your speeder and go outside of the city walls to explore a bit. And they said that the speeder is kind of like a motocross bike, but you can do stunts on it, you can do drifts and jumps, and this will allow you to access new areas which aren't possible to get
like a you get like a red eye redemption sort of attack where you can like slow things down and then pinpoint enemies. That's cool.
And that opens up some unique gameplay opportunities, and as we see in the gameplay, it can be used in combat too. As for these dense cities, they elaborated on that a bit more. So a lot of the cities here are going to be protected under Imperial rule. So there's stormtroopers.
I said Red Eye, I meant Red Dead.
Troopers patrolling. There's dark alleyways, all good for conducting dirty deals. And there'll also be lots of large urban areas in the game, rife with fun opportunities. And then the space section of the game, this is awesome, looked incredible in the trailer. You can freely travel from land to space as you please, and space will offer a ton of traversal and secrets. Dogfights too, we saw some of that. The ship here is called the Trailblazer, and in space there's a lot of unknown dangers.
It just looks freaking sweet.
Tons to explore in these vast areas. Each location in space is said to be unique with unique distinct attributes, and also you can go into hyperspace and punch it and get to other locations.
You know, it'd be cool if you were like just flying around in space like this, if that was like a PvP zone. Like when you get in your ship and you take off through space, it's like strictly a PvP zone, and you can run into other players and stuff, and like maybe have them board your ship, and or vice versa, and Maybe take over that ship. That'd be pretty cool, huh?
Whether that's to get out of danger or if you just fancy a bit of exploring. The dogfighting itself in space will feature intimate dogfights all the way up to large-scale battles. In the cinematic trailer, there is a Star Destroyer and some TIE fighters, so expect to see some of that. The gameplay on the ground when you're controlling Kay, you're going to have a few options. So you could infiltrate with stealth, get the jump on opponents and use gadgets or distractions. If you want to keep it stealthy, you can do that. Or if you want to get a bit blasty, then just reach for your blaster. But Kay is skilled at stealth, sneaking and taking out enemies. Nyx, the little alien dude, I'm not sure what race this is, maybe it's just a new one they made up. Nyx can actually support Kay and complement her skills. So you've got distractions with this little guy. You can command Nyx to press buttons and switches, allowing you to reach new areas. Kind of reminds me of BD1 in a lot of ways. Of course, if you're discovered, get your blaster out, and that's got a range of modes for any enemy and situation. So the combat in the game, they said, is capable and adaptable. Nyx can also retrieve heavy weapons for Kay or assist by attacking and distracting enemies. There's more options there for the combat. As for the crime syndicates and the notoriety or the reputation system in the game, there's a lot going on here. So you'll be able to join the galaxy's most wanted, and you grow from an emerging scoundrel who doesn't know what they're doing to an established outlaw by the end of the game. And we saw the reputation system in action during the gameplay trailer. We saw that Kay got into a shootout, and that will negatively affect her reputation with that particular syndicate. And there'll be some gameplay implications there. It might affect the story. I'm not sure on that one though. And we also see her become wanted in the town that she's at because she refuses to bribe the Imperial officer, and therefore the Imperial officer puts out a bounty for her and you get attacked. And then you've got to escape, get into your ship, fly up into space, hit your hyperdrive and become incognito again. And this all has an impact on your reputation with certain characters and factions in the game. I'm definitely getting Jedi Fallen Order / Uncharted vibes from this one, and I think it is actually the first ever properly open world Star Wars game. Please correct me down in the comments if I'm wrong, but I can't think of one that we've had already. And this is obviously AAA. It looks really polished and massive. I think are a great studio. The Division and Division 2, good games. They look fantastic, and they've done a lot over the years to improve the Division.
Expect bugs though with Ubisoft, but Ubisoft is a good company.
2, for example. And of course, if you're a Star Wars fan, then you've just got that.
Put out a lot of games I
really
love.
like the idea of the space combat and exploration too. That looks super cool. And you know what? This might fill a space because I don't know if you guys remember, there was a game many years ago that was announced and shown. I think it was actually at an E3 called 1313. And it was about the underworld of Star Wars, and you were playing as a bounty hunter. It looked amazing, and then it got cancelled. And then there were also rumors and some leaked screenshots of a game that Visceral Games were working on a couple of years back, which was a third-person action-adventure game set in Star Wars, said to be a bit like Uncharted. Perhaps Outlaws is now filling that gap for us and hopefully potentially exceeding expectations. This looks really good on first impressions. Fingers crossed it turns out well. 2024 is the release date.
Well, we haven't been disappointed really yet with the Star Wars games. I loved the first Star Wars Jedi game, and then the second one did just as well in my opinion. So I'm glad to see what this brings to the table, and it's kind of a different perspective on the Star Wars universe, so this should be interesting.
Specific so far, and it's going to release on PC, PlayStation 5, Xbox Series S and X. Also, I have to say, really big fan of the fact that they released this gameplay trailer in ultra wide. I've been lucky enough to play a few different games in ultra wide now. It's such a different cinematic way to experience video games. Yeah, if you're watching this on a 16:9 device, TV or a PC monitor, I'm sure a lot of people are, then you're going to get the black bars at the top and the bottom. But if you've got an ultra wide, it fills up the screen and is just so immersive. And it's unusual that people reveal games like this, but it definitely looks cinematic and incredibly detailed from what we can see here. And that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching. We've had a lot of cool game reveals over the last couple of days. I can't cover them all, but I'm going to just cherry pick and do the ones that really took my fancy. This was definitely one of them. With that said, guys, let me know your thoughts on Outlaws down in the comments below. Drop me a like, help support me. Thank you. That would be much appreciated. Take care, and I'll see you next time.
Guys, so there we have it. That's the first look of Star Wars Outlaws gameplay, and I think it looks freaking sick, just as sick as the other last two Star Wars Jedi Survivor games we got got. Let me know what you guys think down in the comments, and hit that like button and sub to the channel if you're new. If you guys enjoyed this content and want to see more like it, as always, thanks for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Hey guys, if you liked the video, make sure you head over to the page, hit that like button, scroll over, smash that subscribe, and hit that bell icon to get notified for future video drops, and I will see you guys on the next one. Thanks for watching.